What's up guys, this is Ronnie. Welcome back to Total Technology. This is tutorial 4 and today's topic will be on data types. So whenever you are going to start any new programming language, definitely data type is one of the important thing. Without knowing the data type, you cannot like structure your logic or your program, whatever you can say. Either way it is going to be true. So in this tutorial we'll be going to learn about what are the primitive data types available within our Solidity and how we can use it, and hopefully in the future we are going to use a lot of these data types. Okay, so I think this is going to help you guys to develop some sort of intuition or the foundation about the data types and how you can play around it. So I'll highly recommend you, all of you guys, after watching this video, try to do some sort of small use case or exercise, like just think through it, like take a piece of pen and paper, try to visualize, analyze, and after that whatever we are going to learn this tutorial, try to implement all those things. Hopefully that will help you to gain more confidence and you will get more comfortable along with the different components of Solidity. Because if you just watch the videos, it is not going to help you. After watching the videos, just do some sort of practice, like you have to put some sort of effort, or you have to write the code. Ultimately our objective or your objective is to become a developer or programmer or Solidity. So coding is the important thing. So you have to write your own code by your own, whether it is first in a pen or piece of paper, and try to do something, and after that just replicate the same thing in the laptop or computer, whatever you are going to do, but do some sort of practice, or else definitely will forget over the period of time. Okay, so without wasting much time, let me just quickly go to this slide. So if you see, there are data types in Solidity. So there are two types data types. One is value types, one is reference types. So whatever we are learning in last few decades or few years, and those are actually started their journey as a computer science student. For them, probably C or C++ is the first language. So this is actually same data types and value types and reference types. So value types are definitely the types where actually are going to store or hold the actual value of your object or variable. Okay, so in reference type, we are not going to hold the actual value of your uh, uh, what to say, like your uh, variable. We are just going to hold the reference. For example, array is not going to hold the actual data, but probably it is going to hold the memory location of your variable, and in that location actual data will be saved. So you all know like the concept of data types and value types and reference types. So within our value types, we have integer, boolean, address, byte, string, and enums. Enums is actually basically kind of a user defined data types. We'll talk about this thing more in the later part, but in this tutorial we'll be going to talk about only value types, that is int, bool, address, byte, and string. So reference type we'll be going to discuss in the next tutorial. So for the reference type, we have mainly array, structure, and mapping. We'll be going to discuss about reference type in the next tutorial, and upcoming videos or tutorial will be going to use a lot of this structure, array, mapping, and all these variables. So it will be very exciting journey. Just go along with me slowly, try to do some sort of practice. Definitely will be able to become very very good developer in couple of months. Okay, so let me just open my what do you say, like ethereum remix.ethereum.org. So we'll be going to see what is how to use this variable. So little bit of kind of a what do you say, kind of just kind of a demonstration of the different variables. Okay, so first thing first, we know we have to put some sort of license. So it will be SPDX, and then it will be license, and it will be identifier. Without this, you will get some sort of what do you say, warning. So see, this warning gone. Now it'll ask me the compiler version. SP license identifier. Okay, so here you have to provide this MIT. I think now it will display something different. SPDX license are not provided in the before you tutorial. SPDX license identifier I should be in capital. Okay, so now you have to give the compiler version. So compiler version will be pragma solidity, right? And maybe I can write something any version of 0.8.0 and like this. Okay, So done. Now I'll be going to start writing our first like only one contract, and maybe I can name it as contract, and maybe I can write data types, okay, like this. So maybe I'll be going to talk about value types over here, so I can name it as value type, but just forget about that. Okay, so first thing first, what I'll do here, I'll be going to create a, what do you say, I'll be going to create first an integer, okay. So integer, or maybe I can create a boolean, so maybe bool public, so that I can interact this thing from after deploying this thing, okay. Bool public, maybe I can name it as vval, okay, and this is going to be true, okay. And let's see this thing, okay. So maybe I can write, okay, one important thing, guys, if you want to add some sort of comment in Solidity, you have to use this thing. If it is going to if the requirement is to put only single line comment, you can use this thing. Sorry, I can, and if the requirement is to do some sort of multi-line thing, you can use something let me tell you, something like this and something like this. So whatever is written inside that will be commented, okay. Okay, so I believe this is clear, so maybe I can write multi-line comment, okay. This is also covered in this tutorial, single line comment, okay. So now I can write, so boolean data types, okay. So let's deploy this thing, okay. Here compile is auto compile is done, so let me deploy this thing in a JavaScript VM, okay. So yeah, fine, deploy this thing is deployed. So I can see bval here. So if I click on this thing, I'll get a true. So I get a true. So suppose if I let this thing to false, and after that let me delete this thing. So whatever you deployed, you need to delete this thing basically, or else there will be a problem. So maybe I can just click this thing, it will be deleted. So, and after that you just hit on deploy, so it will be deployed. And after that, if I click this thing again over here, and if I hit, I'll get a false. Now important thing, as I said, this is only going to accept true and false. So whatever you are going to put, let's say I'll be going to put some string, something like that, and see it is throwing error. See, it's not implicitly convertible. It means it is saying that it's a boolean. You cannot convert this string to boolean. So that is why. So this is cool. So maybe again, okay. So now next thing is going to be integer data type. So integers are going to be kind of two types, uint and sign int. Uint, maybe I can do in the in here only, that will be going to be easy for all of you guys to understand, okay. Uint and int. Uint for unsigned, no negative, okay. Int is signed and can have negative, okay. And it will start from uint 8 to uint 256, okay. Same for this int 8 to int 256. So it can like, let's say uint 256 going to hold 0 to 2 to the power 256 minus 1, okay. And these things are int, and these things are going to be stored like minus 2 to the power 255 2 plus 2 to the power 255 minus 1. So I'm just writing the maximum like limit for storing this thing. Okay, so minimum we can easily calculate. So this 256 will be replaced here with 8, and here also this will be replaced by 8, and it will be 8 minus, sorry, it will be 7, and it will be 7 minus 1. So similar, but this is not always possible to remember all these things, and sometimes this is very tricky. We know how programmers lives are complicated sometimes. Okay, so there is a very easy way of doing this thing that I'll do now. Okay, so I'll explain all of you. Okay, so maybe I can write int 256, then public, then sample unt 256 is equals to, let's say, 1000. Okay, and we can do something. Let me just check how to do that. Just give me a moment. There is something called dot main dot this thing, so that will help you to understand the minimum and maximum value of this thing. So this is really very interesting. Just give me a moment. Okay, let me check the documentation. Okay, I'm gonna write this thing right now. Okay, so I'm actually switching back to another monitor just to check the documentation. Okay, just give me a moment. This something, just wait. So it will be int unsigned integer 256 int. Okay, I did a mistake. 256 you int 256. Okay, so it should be public. Okay, so now I'll name it at max. Okay, max of this thing. Okay, so maybe I can write it max underscore this thing. Then probably I can write type, then maybe dot max. What is this? Undeclared identifier. Okay, so yeah, so now what is this line is going to do? I'm just creating this thing. So this is normal thing, and after that what I'm doing, I'm just going to store this maximum value of this thing in this variable, and similarly I can do. Okay, so maybe I can write min and this min, and similarly you can do for other thing like unt 8, 16, and all these things are possible. So there is something called overflow. Like if you are going to store the number which is greater than this maximum limit, so it will get overflowed. But in due to not due to from version 8, there is something called safe math calculation. So safe math auto correction of similar overflow or buffer overflow, something they call it as. I know if I go and explain this thing, that will be very difficult, so that is why I'm just saying the vague names right now. But we have a complete dedicated session for this, and that will be discussed in the later part. Just forget about that right now. So just think about this thing slowly. We'll be going towards our intermediate to advanced topic. So bool is done, integer is done. So let me delete this thing and let me deploy this thing now. Okay, so it's deployed. So let's check everything one by one. So it will display false. So false. Now this is our max sample integer unt 256 max. This means this is okay. So if I put this thing, so this is going to give us this value. Okay, so it will be definitely this one, where it is this one. Okay, let me just give this thing a minimum. So minimum is 0. Just to tell you guys, this is 2 to the power 256 minus 1, means it will be basically 2 to the power 255. Okay, so if you do some sort of online calculator, okay, so maybe uh, uh, to, what do you say, like, I don't know, I forgot to use scientific calculator. So 2 to the power 255. Okay, let's see. So it's coming something like this. Okay, where it is our this thing, something I don't know, like whether these things are same or not, I don't know, but just do one thing. Let me try to put this thing here. Copy. Definitely it will be same, cause let me refresh this thing. Okay, so that's it, and there are some other things as well. Okay, so let me just go ahead with my slide. So we know int, we know bool, we know address. Address is actually going to hold some address, like those are actually familiar, like fixed number, fixed kind of address, location of your what do you say, like in the crypto world or in the blockchain, everything is kind of denoted by a address. Okay, so using address we can hold that. For example, let's say address, so it should be address public sample address, and let's say I just copy my address. This is my address, like for this whole thing I'm connected to my MetaMask test account. Okay, and after that this. Okay, so now let's deploy this thing. Okay, so it's deployed. So sample address, where is that? Say I get my address. Now the question is that if I just uh, change something here, let's see whether it is going to work or not. Maybe I can change something and see what it is saying. So it is saying this is something not valid. Okay, so that is why. So it should be always a valid address. Okay, so next thing is going to be byte. Okay, byte and string. So string is actually denoted or can be can be we can hold string in a string literal, like string literals can be look, let me express it in a different way. So string literals can be represented with a double quotes or single quotes, and it can be hold using this string data type. So it should be string public sample string, and after that we can use test. Okay, in the last tutorial we have seen, but when you are going to use this thing, it will be like less efficient in terms of gas consumption, like in Ethereum blockchain. So that is why there is something called byte. Okay, so we can use the same thing, byte public sample underscore byte, and you can write the test. Okay, 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 so that's it, and let me just delete this thing again. Okay, and after that let me redeploy. Okay, it's done. So maybe now we can see a lot of things like false, then this, then 0, then sample address, then sample byte. Okay, so see, sample byte is this thing. So this is very interesting, right? And the sample string is this, and sample this thing is what is this sample UNT 56,000. kind of enterprise grade smart contracts, not for any kind of research or like for your own purpose, then definitely you should use byte mostly to reduce the gas consumption. But again, if you are going to do some sort of testing in your test network, you can do it, but it's always advisable to do the best practice from the beginning so that your foundation will be solid. Okay, so I believe this is a bit of confusing for all of you, and maybe some of you are finding it difficult. So that is why I'll be going to share the whole code in my GitHub repository, and I'm just going along slowly with all the concepts. So definitely that will help all of you guys. Okay. So there are a lot of things we learned. We learned different value types. So using that value type, what is data type and what is reference type, and we see the available data types and their kind of representation in the form of like different variables. Then put the variable names, and we see how their values are getting stored and what we can do. So in the next tutorial, we're going to talk about reference type. Okay, or maybe we can talk about scope of the variable. We know right now the data type, and now next time it will be definitely useful to talk about variable and variable scope. Okay, and after that we'll be going to talk about reference type. Okay, so variable type and variable scope will be very useful. And when we talk about variable type and scope, definitely we have different types of variable within our Solidity, and every variable comes with a scope. Okay, so we're going to talk about that scope, and in the next tutorial we're going to talk about reference type. Okay, so hopefully it will be an exciting journey, and that is why I always request all of you guys to do some sort of practice after watching this video. Try to create the same thing by yourself. Okay. Okay, so this is the end of tutorial. Okay, no more learning for this series. No more learning in this video. Series is not going to end, guys. It will be a long or maybe lengthy series, and there could be more than 100 videos. Who knows? Okay, so it's a huge topic. So okay, we'll talk about those things later. But the important thing, guys, please let me know by some sort of feedback whether you guys are actually getting benefited of this course, or if you still think something is missing. Please let me know. If you think that should be added or something is something can be done in a more better way, please let me know. If you guys are having any use case, just let me know. I'll try to incorporate all these things. And the last and most important thing, guys, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, and hit the bell icon, and share our videos with your family, friends, whoever you think is going to be relevant for our tutorial. Not only doing this blockchain development, we have multiple courses, so definitely we want to reach larger and bigger audience. So please try to help us by sharing our content with your family and friends, and try to subscribe to our channel. That's another request.